Hello, Professor Match and fellow English 1B classmates. So I'm going to be taking just a few brief minutes to talk about some of the things that I'm going to be including in my final essay for this class. So first off, my name is Elise, and I am a mature student here at Sierra College. So before I took this class, I have always loved English. I've always been an avid reader. I love English and literature. This class has actually been a huge eye-opener for me, and it has allowed me to really think critically and use my critical thinking skills and do a little bit of soul searching too. Every video and poem or novel that I've read in this class has taught me something personally. And honestly, I think that's the whole point of getting an education after high school, is learning about yourself, gaining some insight on yourself, and finding out that there's more than one way of looking at the world. So the essay on 12 things that Octavia Butler taught me was absolutely brilliant. I mean, it summed up every lesson that you could possibly want to glean from the novels. So the first one that was my favorite from that list was to be prepared. Be prepared for what? Well, anything really. We tend not to want to address certain issues until we get there, because sometimes there's just things we don't want to deal with that are fearful or stressful. But as we can see, and we learned from Lauren in the novels, that being prepared was the key to everything for her. She was prepared for every possible scenario that she could think of. And yes, these were often life or death matters for her because of the situation that she lived in. But she just was so incredibly prepared for anything that could have possibly happened, which kind of leads into the second point that was my favorite off the list, which was study and research. I love it so much more as an adult. It said to gain as much knowledge as you can, no matter how silly you think it is, in that essay. And I totally agree with that. You'd kind of develop an appreciation for information as you learn and you immerse yourself in it. Lauren's community, or her Earthseed community, thrived because people learned. They had to learn how to make things. They had to make clothing, make furniture. They had to learn these things just to survive. They had to go beyond just your basic skills. These aren't things you would know how to do in general, unless you put the time and the effort into it. There's a lot more off that list I could have chosen from, but I know we have to use another outside source. So I immediately thought of Chimamanda Adichie's the TED Talk about the danger of a single story. It stayed with me all year. I absolutely loved listening to her. She's a brilliant speaker, highly intelligent woman, and I loved James Baldwin's I Am Not Your Negro film. I went to the bookstore recently and I found some works by him as well as her, and I'm interested in looking into some of the things that they've written once this class is over. As far as how they have changed my point of view or my perspective on things, I think it's more that it's cemented my resolve in how I want to be as a person and who I want to be as a person, how I think about things. I do feel more committed to my original beliefs after all the things that I've learned from these different stories. So I think there's some things that I took away from it that I want to start applying in my life, especially after reading the 12 things list. I'm going to start using that more in day-to-day life. So that's pretty much it for my rough draft. Thank you.